Commander Threxel of the Varquan Dominion had studied dozens of species before humanity joined the galactic stage. None impressed her less. Humans were small, soft. Their bodies lacked natural armor, claws, venom, or psionic strength. They broke easily, aged quickly, and relied too much on machines. In the Dominion's war councils, Earth was often referred to as the fragile species. Threxel agreed. That was before the ambush on Karo's Ridge. The coalition forced Varquan shock troops reinforced by a human expeditionary unit was advancing through a shattered city when the enemy sprang their trap. Plasma fire poured from the ruins. Buildings collapsed. Communications screamed and died. Threxel reacted instantly, issuing commands, rallying her warriors. She was faster, stronger, bred for war. But even she didn't see the second strike coming. A gravitic shell detonated behind her. The blast hurled her across the street, slamming her into a broken wall. Her armor screamed warnings as power failed. She tried to rise, failed. One leg refused to respond. Her vision blurred, so this is how I die, she thought bitterly. Felled while fighting beside weaklings. Footsteps pounded toward her. She expected to see a Varquan warrior. Instead, a human slid to a stop in front of her. He was unremarkable, medium height, his scarred helmet. His armor was scorched and cracked, one shoulder plate hanging loose. His rifle was nearly out of power. "Commander," he shouted. "You hit." "I am functional," Threxel growled, trying to push herself up. Before she could say more, incoming fire screamed toward them. The human didn't hesitate. He turned his back to the enemy and stepped in front of her. "What are you doing?" Threxel snapped. He didn't. Instead, he planted his feet and raised his shield emitter. An outdated human design Threxel had once mocked for its inefficiency. The first plasma bolt slammed into the shield, then another. And another. The shield flared dangerously. Alarms wailed from the human's armor.
"You will die," Threxel roared.
The human laughed. Actually laughed, through the chaos. "Yeah," he said, breathless. "That's kind of the job." The shield failed. When it did, the human didn't retreat. He leaned forward, angling his body, using his own armored frame to block the line of fire, while firing blindly back at the enemy with one hand. Plasma tore into him. He screamed, but stayed standing. Threxel felt something unfamiliar twist in her chest as she watched his life signs plummet on her XUD. "Why?" she demanded. "You gain nothing from this." The human glanced back at her, visor cracked, blood running down his neck. "Because," he said, "you're still alive." With a final surge of strength, he triggered a micro-charge at his feet. The explosion collapsed the street entrance, burying the enemy firing position under tons of rubble. Silence fell. The human collapsed. Medics arrived minutes later, dragging Threxel to safety. They tried to save the soldier, but his injuries were too severe. He died before she could even learn his full name. Only later did she see his file. First Class Daniel Reyes, age 23, rank lowest tier. Commendations none. At the briefing, Threxel stood before the assembled coalition commanders. When it was her turn to speak, she did something no Varquan commander had done in recorded history. She bowed. "Humans are not weak," she said, her voice steady. "They lack claws and armor, yes, but they possess something far more dangerous." She paused, thinking of a broken shield, a laughing soldier, and a body that refused to fall. "They choose to stand," she continued, "even when it cost them everything." From that day on, the Varquan battle doctrine changed. Human units were no longer placed in support roles. They were placed at the center, where the line must never break.